President Bio over the years, don't they say, they travel internationally for clean the image of Salone. And of course, fast forward to that, we get other issues will happen with regards to drugs. So, talking about Europe's most wanted fugitive, Yoslai Deckers. Now, around the same time, just after in January, they found cocaine, allegedly, according to Guinean authorities, inside a Salone embassy vehicle, Salone embassy vehicle in Guinea. And this will make the Guinean authorities declare this former Salone ambassador to Guinea, Almami Bangura, a persona non grata. Persona non grata means no longer welcome for stay as a diplomat na Guinea. Make the Guinean authorities be dreb Almami Bangura and President Bio in Foreign Affairs Minister Bigi call the ambassador. Then they say not so because they accuse them of harm, because in need for answer some questions or to waiting actually know about the drug where they say they found. 7 suitcases of drugs, cocaine, and about $2,000 worth of cash. Guinean authorities then say they see inside a Salone embassy vehicle. It's still not very clear. Just months ago we say investigation show for say the man in question, Almami Bangura, has been cleared of all wrongdoings in the investigations by Guinean authorities. And then we see Koidu holding saga who escalates from workers where they protest na Salone, once largest diamond mining agency company, na Koidu, protest over workers' pay. Get for scale up with First Lady Fatima Biobi. Join protesters of course, First Lady, then we see tension between E and Koidu Holdings. Koidu Holdings be the levy a fine or the sue First Lady Fatima Bio and the government of Sierra Leone. Sue First Lady about $20 million. And the First Lady instead of do the same, a counter sue with about $50 million. He said because Koidu Holdings then defame in office. So lots of issues that happen in 2025. Again, we also get power cuts that will happen. Freetown was plunged into darkness by Car Power Ship, the Turkish energy company, energy ship, which provide electricity for Sierra Leoneans in Freetown. And of course, that's not because again, Car Power Ship say government for pay them tens of millions of dollars. So big issues. Plus, for the very first time in many, many years, Salone gets major international recognition. President Julius Maada will assume to the chairmanship of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, in June. Many welcome that, saying it don't help for strengthen and boost Salone in standing internationally. President Bio also be served as president of the UN Security Council. Salone serve as non-permanent member of the Security Council. We go end, of course, today. All of this, President Bio and government say now for push Salone agenda internationally. Lots of issues that happen this year. We will carry you today with the should I say caregivers APC and the SLPP, from the government, Chernor, and from the APC, the main opposition party. Of course, we know the opposition, they in government. They represent in government Sidi Tunis, Publicity Secretary of the main opposition APC. We'll carry for discuss, for review, the major highlights for 2025. Stay with us. Chernor, the Minister for Information and Civic Education of the government of the Republic of Salone. Good morning, Mr. Ba. Welcome to the Epic Morning Show.
Good morning, Fambulem, and I also say Merry Christmas and a wonderful New Year to all the Fambulem and Salone, and particularly to Unana Epic.
But Chernor, how be 2025 as far as Salone is concerned?
I want to use the word we on our station name. It'll be an epic year for the country.
How epic?
Because we go through so many big moments as a country. But I think they can say, they judge us how you start, you judge how you end. The most important thing in real life is security, first of all. We just don't finish December with a long line of incredible festivities. And I should say, a single major incident.
But one of the issues where you just a day ago, President Bio complaining about rice getting missing.
But my brother, is that a major security?
Yeah.
We'll talk about security.
It's security
in
too. I
a
mean,
country, yes,
state lodge.
there will be issues, but as they say, the people of this country, then they go to bed safe, then jump on the streets, they enjoy themselves. Throughout this December, you know, everybody kitty kata, nobody not talks, then they come out, they not ban we for come on the streets. We don't enjoy peace and stability, for which we foretell Allah plenty thank you in the leadership of His Excellency President Bill. So now the one big thing for us for just establish, say, we are one of the most peaceful countries on the continent, and this year we continue for enjoy peace and tranquility in our country.
So it's good you say the year was epic. I mean, for you and for government, huh?
I not say for me. You asked me with a review of the year for Salone.
Well, I ask you, you reply, you say it was epic.
Yes, but so they talk
and for government too. Okay, so
it's been an epic year for Salone, and I say not to will start now how we end. And I just mentioned one. Peace and stability. The second thing I will say,
let me go. We don't get much time inside the show. We get for discuss a lot of issues. Then from January,
we basically
we get for
and
discuss
I'm not even
them
able to talk
specifically.
1 minute to say we not get time.
Specifically, I mean the issues them at hand a lot. I mean, we will start from January to December. All the issues, the biggest highlights them. We'll go deep into them now, and let's start first with the Just Lideckers issue. I mean, President Bio celebrates the New Year 2025 with a visit with his family and key government officials them na Tihun. I mean, videos circulate widely on social media reported by major international news channels them of Europe's most wanted fugitive, Just Lideckers, seen just seats away from President Bio. I mean, many do allege for say he's in a relationship or he was in a relationship with the daughter of the first of President Bio, Agnes Bio. What did the government think about that issue there?
I just want to point out, say you don't take more time for ask the question than you give me the chance for answer to the first question we ask. And I think say if the show continue this way, it's not gonna be good. Because you call me for let me respond to the questions and for allow me for lay the premise of the response. Which I think this is an issue that is now, I think we don't adjudicate this issue plenty. The fact of the matter is that there are claims, there are different claims, the police come out, they start an investigation, the government of Salone, they're in contact with the Dutch government. Now we issue, the government of Salone go out of your way. At the time when nobody don't contact with it, we issue a press release, we ask, say we're ready for collaborate. There's a procedure for pull anybody in here for Krango in other country that is established by law. With commitment that we will follow the laws of Sierra Leone, and I can assure you that the reason why make you see they continue to engage with the government of the Netherlands, they not get no agreements with we.
Okay.
And as I've been pointed out on the day as well, the government of the Netherlands, they just see somebody in the country we believe is a criminal they all and encounter now. In fact, we don't make formal requests to them.
We make them safe right
for
extradition request to UNA.
I just make it clear to you, say extradition request to, sir. I don't know if you understand the process of the law, but if you make an extradition request,
yes,
wouldn't they still grab no more and go hold the person? If you make an extradition request, if for satisfy the conditions of Leone, would the care go the extradition request with the AG don't approve and we don't review all things.
So government will approve the extradition request.
The process is on. And first, then they submit a request.
Oh.
When they submit a request, that request get for go to court after review by the AG. When the request go to court, that person they get right for show up in a court, for go present in case, and then the crime for which they want for pull an aya also get for be established as a crime in aya. So the reason why I make this particular case is sensational is most people they rush by the talk, say, oh, they see somebody sit down being president. We were very clear and consistent. We're a law-abiding country. We're one of the countries that we the most adhere to extradition treaties. We don't do them for many others. In fact, not to just make the talk this time, not about government, but the country, Sierra Leone.
Okay.
So with the Dutch government, the conversations they on, they don't write story, the AGD review, and I will assure you, say it is a process that will follow the laws of Sierra Leone.
Okay, so just been joined in the studio by Sidi Tunis, Publicity Secretary for the main opposition APC. Good morning, Sidi. Welcome to the Epic Morning Show.
Good morning. Thank you very much for getting me here. Season's greetings to you and people who they listen out there.
Well, Sidi, how would describe 2025 as far as Salone is concerned?
Well, I mean, as always, as somebody where they talk for the main opposition, you get to look at the country holistically. And 2025, like in all other years, in governance, we don't get we ups, we don't get we downs. There are certain positives we happen, of course, as far as governance and the country concerned, but then there are also certain things that will happen we challenging and we continue for, you know, get a toll on we as a country in many areas. And whereas we make strides in certain areas, then in terms of we presence, that certain international institutions, the roles who they play, and you know, how much would they fight for stabilize, for example, the foreign exchange and all. We get areas also where we don't face challenges. At the same time, where we try for make name na the international world, we also they get things that they make where they get bad name na the same international world. I come in, for example, when they talk about one of the biggest things that we probably something we don't give it bad name. We get for do with drugs generally, whether na kush, whether na other drugs them where they come na this country, the rate at which it happen, the rapidly, disturbing for we as a nation, of course, and then one major challenge we don't face to a point that we country now listed by the United States government at the transshipment hub for drugs and money laundering. I think that not too good news for we. So in as much as we don't make strides internationally, then kind news then also they give a bad name like the country.
So Sidi, for 2025, the good override the bad or the bad override the good?
Well, I mean, you get to look at them differently. You know, it will be difficult for lack and, you know, state, but also good for make you state the good as against the bad in every area. You know, but the major thing we don't give you serious problem 2025 now drugs issue. And nobody not will deny that. As far as with reputation, you know, internationally, the impact where you don't get on we locally with young people, you know, the rate at which they don't become addicted, the rate at which drugs they get used. If they don't get it to a point, every other day you go hearing news. Either they don't intercept motorcar, they go Guinea with drugs, they don't hold somebody in a Liberia border with drugs, they don't hold container in Nigeria with drugs, we come on Salone, they don't get container in UK, you know, with flour, them where they look inside in our drugs from Sierra Leone, then kind news then they. And then locally, of course, we get to a point where we pick up over 200 bodies in the street. We don't know for sure whether all them bodies then they now drugs kill them.
All right.
It might be other things.
Okay,
but of
Sidi.
course, all of these things tie into the issue which surround the use of drugs, importation of drugs, you know, and then the actors them who are involved in them deals then they will clearly get a negative impact on the country bigly.
All right, Sidi, when you come, we will discuss on your slide deckers. I mean, widely circulated videos appear for show the man, your slide deckers, one of Europe's most wanted fugitive, just near President Bio. I mean, Siam with President Bio in Peking, Agnes Bio. I mean, widely shared online. International news channel, they don't claim for say he might be in a relationship with Agnes Bio, and he's very close to the first family. And many do allege for say they receive also state protection. What do you make of him? How una welcome? How una perceive this as the opposition party?
For me, you know, I don't want to go into the personal aspect of that particular thing. They were within a relationship with anybody related to the president. Waiting me want for focus on who is this individual. We then see with President Bill. Is he the person where the Dutch government they look for? Now lie there, cast, because so far from the account we get from the police, they have Omar Sharif. So whether not Omar Sharif, whether not lie there, cast, they need to be clear to we the citizens whether or not this person. And in fact, the international community, the Dutch, then they say now the person. So the question we may go on for ask whether Omar Sharif still there salon. That is the first thing government need for come clear to we about. Because if Omar Sharif still there salon, then we still have a problem as a nation. Because clearly, whether they carry Omar Sharif now or they carry the name where the Dutch government say, the fact of the matter is somebody in our country where the Dutch or where the international news don't say now the most wanted person in Europe for drugs and all other things, you know, this person in our country. So now we don't focus. We not so much want for going something where we not know about. I not go consider for begin to explain what's not the relationship between that person there and president, daughter or whatsoever, because I not get that detail there. And whatever it is, I not feel say that for be my own focus. My own focus is, do we have a dangerous person living in our country where they of interest to the international world? That person is still there. If he's still there, why? Where did you actually circulate? If they get protection from the government, if they get protection from the government, why make the government the protector? Why, waiting at the challenge, why we government not still able to come out for tell we it? Why they not still, you know, done this business with the Dutch government, whether the request or happen, which level then they, which level then, or they, whether not this person will exist, will live now with country, and whether in fact all of them things they already happen in our country now, a handy day. I'll tell you what make some of you we very worried, especially we in the opposition. We don't live in our countries them who say drug business plenty. The dangers with drugs, not just the use. When you gonna get to a situation where say you get drug lots in your country, and they get to a point where say even for form government they influence them. Yes, then get how much resources, then get how much power.
You think it's not the same case with it, not the similar case within a salon?
Well,
that's a similar case to salon
I
now.
hope we not go get to that point, and that is why we take this serious. Even for form government they go influence them, because they need them protection, they need for them territorial control. That is one aspect of it. And then when you don't get to that point, outside they don't comfortable, you don't get multiple drug lords. Now territorial wars they start, because each lord want for control their own area, and the competition go begin. The next thing you go begin see now many kidnappings, many killings. So the use where they destroy with young people and now, that is just one aspect of it. If we not control the cartels, we not get them out of here.
We get cartels in a saloon?
But of course. How the drugs then they come here? How then they come here? How if you say then they go to other countries? Where then they catch them from salon, from here? They're not cartels. Not people where they are were involved in the trade.
And how people forget government effectiveness in the fight against these cartels we claim today?
Well, I mean, you know, and this is my worry. You know, sometimes we all get we part for play. The opposition, we're not quiet on this, because we sense the dangers, we communicate it out for let government go into action. So far, with the handling of the Kush, government don't take steps. They don't call we all to action. They don't set up the necessary rehab centers, you know, who say they don't begin take action for treat the one that we don't become, you know, addicted. That is a very good step. Now we need for cut out the source, and that is where government need for be very serious.
All right.
When we say we need for cut out the source, we don't for be selective. We not they go after the small fish them. Government don't for go after the small fish them, and left the one the way they make the millions of dollars out of it, and where they flash the resources, they flash the wealth. Now we face, buddy man, you know, plenty things the way they happen. We need for open with eyes. We economy, we all know the strength of our economy. Now this country, certain much carrying the way me they see now, yeah. Where economic activities not support the purchase of them what's carrying day for this country.
You suspect anybody around?
Have to be involved in something.
You suspect
illegal.
anybody around we see with fancy cars?
I don't, you know, not to my own job done.
All right. Okay.
That is why government gets institutions we support. But if then they question we politicians then for unexplained wealth, why they not for question people where they drive fancy cars? Cars then we worth $300,000-$500,000 now with streets. Why don't know for question? How them much car and they come in? What's not the economic value? What's not the business that we deposit? We not the annual turnovers.
Okay.
I don't get problem with anybody for buy any car we want buy, but there has to be, you know, a line where we all know say this revenue source is legal enough, is steady enough. For let this person able for afford for drive their XYZ cars they are what they see, and the number of luxury things that what they see they happen.
Okay,
so
make her bring in Minister Chernor in this. I mean, talking about drugs, from the Just Lideka's issue, we also hear you from the Guinean authorities and say defend, but
you really know I review 2025. I'm sorry.
So
I'm
we don't go carry you just one story for 2025, Mr. Minister.
You're not even the review one story, my friend.
We they talk about the first issue, drugs, and then Mr. Tunis talk about other issues that we get for drugs.
You see, a public service where you deny so it's a great privilege you get. We all get for Kanaya. I really glad that the post you me about that take. I not disagree with any way that just talk. You want for talk about problems in the country. You want for talk about individuals. You don't mention the president in
but problems. I mean, those are issues raised by international news media. Then, so you think you not for talk about
you
that?
Get duty.
Yes.
Not just hang on to. Not you're using a crutch. You're hanging on to because international media. Where you as a journalist, with your ethics, with your responsibility. This man want to talk about the fact say people then die in a drug problem. You want to talk about one individual to another.
So we
Let's
categorize everything. We categorize everything. We will discuss about the rise in drug abuse among the youths of the country very soon.
This is what he is talking about. This is what Mika for talk about.
Yeah. So
you want to talk about Josh. The next thing you want to talk about now.
We don't talk about just Lideka's. Forget about just Lideka's. You think?
You asked me the question. I don't address and on. But I'm saying for a show where you not allow me for answer how the year was. You not give me 1 minute, sir. You don't allow you you take 5 minutes for ask the question. You want to do all the talking, and then you want just carry go. You want ask about personal.
So my question to you now, Mr. Minister, look over ahead with the discussion about the Guinea ambassador to Guinea, Almami Bangura, the Guinean authorities them again because now a public interest matter if we discuss about them. So then say them fan but about 7 suitcases inside an embassy vehicle in Guinea, Conakry, and that's inside also they see $2,000 worth of cash, and this will make them declare persona non grata on the Guinea ambassador to Guinea, Alimami Bangura.
Then say you see who say then declare persona non grata? Who's reports where you see who's international media we talk so
from the Guineans them?
No Guinean not tell you so.
Don't talk about persona non grata.
Yeah, you see again you're not journalist. You dey review stories of the year. You dey rely on them say.
Also then say.
From
Guinea, from the Guinean government.
No Guinean authority.
We make the government, of course, be called the ambassador again.
Make the government be. I was here many times.
After the drug issue, the government recalled the ambassador to Guinea for answer some questions, even as the government be say, also because they suspect him for the drugs, and because if we answer questions as to what he thinks they lead to that drug issue there. I mean, government declaring him not guilty, but have we seen Mr. Almami Bangura being appointed to another government office? if he wasn't responsible.
Have you seen him appointed? You're not a
Now,
journalist.
I ask you the question.
But
You
you're not
are here
journalist,
to
no?
represent
You
the
don't see
government.
they don't
You don't come
appoint
for
him.
argue, Mr. Minister.
Nobody ask you now. You're not a journalist, right? You're not a journalist. You don't follow the news. Again, me, Kaya, fantastic opportunity. Law review the year. You don't go through all this time
So-
for ask me about one person.
We're
in
not going
life.
to talk
one
about just
person.
like Dekas. We're not going to talk about Alusai Almami Bangura.
Can I have to talk about the country? The Guinea incident. We don't go through this so many times. We don't do past 15 press conferences on this. Everybody know you they rely on them. Say there's press releases on everything we don't do. The government don't states every step we happen. The Guinea authorities they owe information they public. Nobody no declare that man the persona non grata. Now governments withdraw them immediately for the investigation. They not catch drug na in motoka. This na utility motoka belonging to the embassy na Guinea. All of these are public facts which you as a journalist should know, ought to know. For come na for review 2025, for let you rely on them scanty, then say then it's a disservice to your audience.
So, me saying the government key column for cancer questions, I didn't say also, you think? I didn't say. I'm not forgetting on official government statements on particular issues.
I did tell you, say, the official government statements on the issue, you are asking me something that's already public knowledge. He was recalled for can't help with the investigation. Following the investigation, he pleased His Excellency as he can please any president for do. Then he can pull me into Martin. He appoints a new ambassador to Guinea. This is established fact. Since then, this man they about to go about his normal business. This is established fact. You know that. But you all can take that same day now. We'll not get better time by your admission. You don't spend how many minutes for talk about somebody we not to public official again, an investigation we don't do multiple press releases, multiple press conferences, we don't make clear say Guinea don't done the own investigation. The people who they all accountable, Guinea don't arrested, they don't done the own case, they don't all them people they know them catch the motoka. That matter they don't close. As far as Salon concerned, we all matter say don't close. We have said this over and over and over. But you all talk about then say talk about whether president you don't appoint them.
I mean, when you mentioned to public official again, the government suspects him in any way. Maybe they don't get out of public office for
I really can't. This morning I
public
can't.
public
Maybe
office.
Because I sleep now, hospital, maybe picking up well. So I know we.
I mean, Mr. Minister, you represent government. If I ask you about government issues, then you need to respond.
No, I'm not a kind of for can't talk gossip. Then say government suspector.
All right, so let me move ahead now.
It's no longer a subject of investigation. The president will put out a press release. It was in banner headlines all over. You're not a journalist. Then you all can't talk say if government suspector. So is that not my job for can't suspect people?
What do you make about the drug issues then? I mean, with regards to the rising amounts of kush abuse, Mr. Minister.
What do I make about it?
What do you make? Your opinion about the rising amounts of drug abuse among the youths of this country?
The president will declare a state of national emergency. It means say the president take it as a very serious priority. Anything drug is named, and I'm really happy with the posture my brother take, brother Tunis. It threatens the very fabric of the country. And yes, we see particular intake of drugs increase among young people. We see too many young bodies in the streets of the country. But the government, through His Excellency the President, takes some decisive steps. Some people then criticize and say why they declare drug a national emergency in a country who knows, say, for example, America don't get drug problem for many years, other countries say no. This is a threat in the fabric of the country, and it's not a political issue. You not just do that, you set up a task force, you don't set up a public health agency. Yes, we begin the fight, especially against kush, and at some point I come on air and admit, say, yes, we pull we foot small by the pedal, and you see a resurgence of the crisis. But the good news are that governments, through, by the way, excellent public advocacy, you colleague journalists them, other citizens them, call for greater action. We increase with action. The president do additional things. He don't set up a joint police force, a joint security force. We don't increase crackdown. He don't set up, again, additional rehabilitation centers, the way my brother mentioned about. But the problem with drugs is not to government get for solve it alone. Me or everybody in our society. We get for deal with the supply side. With how the top borders. Keep in mind, kush. Every study shows say kush they come out Europe and China, places that we're much more sophisticated than we are, and na them ports they come out and reach now we border now. So we work with them as well for let them help we for stop let it even bring kind of dangerous drugs in our country. But we get our own problem now as well for deal with the demand side, because we didn't make people want for going to drugs. It's because of different kinds of issues in their life, lack of opportunities, opportunism. People really take advantage of them. I don't be very public on the drug issue personally about my own personal experience with them when picking going to public school. This is not something for me that's politics. This is about the lives of young people in our country, including me own picking and other people in picking their wasabi. So that's something we government don't take very seriously. We respond, is it perfect? Not by a long stretch. We need to do so much more. Not just with the rehabilitation centers, but also with the prevention side. And I can assure you, say, through my ministry, we don't increase that. And I tell you, say, right now, if you go across this country, more and more people know about drugs than at any other time. Not because we talk more about them, not because they also see the evidence of it, not because we don't step up action. If you check the price of, for example, Kushner, the market, the price go up. The basic laws of demand and supply says which made the price go up. Now it's scarcity day, right? Because we don't put additional pressure on that. Government don't set up the institution. They don't support, again, the drug law enforcement agency with additional resources. But I coordinated response. We get the health sector day, we get the social welfare day, we get internal affairs day, we get youth day. It's a major issue, and I agree with me, but that's now one of the major challenges that we will face in 2025.
Okay, with regards to fighting against the drugs itself, internally, talk about the borders, them saying that the government don't do a lot for man with borders them, but it is still being sold locally. I mean in communities them, we see people with the smoke kush, they sort of continue for they take the drug, and we see them not treat they die. So what the government don't do about the fight against them internally?
I just don't mention, say we get government declare public emergency, set up an agency, increase the enforcement powers of that agency. We don't set up a rehabilitation center, rehabilitation centers in every region of the country. As I don't say, look, in terms of manning new borders for drug, keep in mind America declared war on drugs 40 years ago. 40 years ago, they declare war on drugs. Then get a much more sophisticated infrastructure and resources. They still have drug problem in America. They still get the man them border halting. They still get drugs. The problem in an opportunistic thing. People can take advantage and slip in. And if not to kush, as me, you know, then they take tramadol. The government don't take an extraordinary step recently. Just a few weeks ago, don't ban the use of tramadol tablet nasal and the importation of tramadol. Huge step, because we see the effects of tramadol. That's something that we've also done, right?
But
if not
banning is one thing, enforcing it, I mean, ensuring that it's not being sold in pharmacies. Now, another thing, what's the government know about them? Don't do about them.
That's what we're doing, sir. That's steps you get for take.
All right.
With every single thing, first you look at the data, you take the big step, which we did with the banning, and then we take the additional steps of the enforcement. But that enforcement, they not to government no more get for doing. You as a citizen, we all journalists, if you see they sell on some side, if you call for reports, we get a hotline, we get drug law enforcement agency, we get the infrastructure now. That joint security force we present, you don't do. You know, so they read all the time. Just this week, they destroyed drugs worth over $1 million. As Internal Affairs Minister shared the reports with me. So we did take actions, but drug not a problem when our government no more get for solve. Drug not problem when we all as a society, as a community, as families get for put our government they solve, as I say, the supply side, and government they help with the demand side and the public information and engagement and things like that. But it requires we all the effort for end the problem.
Okay, so we know President Bio early this year in June was appointed as the chairman of ECOWAS during the term, of course. It only advocates for Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger. They all return back to democracy. I mean, many people don't welcome President Bio's appointment as a big victory for Sierra Leone internationally. Also, heading the committee of C10 at the African Union, also chair lots of UN Security Council meetings them with regards to calling for ceasefire in Gaza, ceasefire in Ukraine, ceasefire in Sudan, advocating for permanent seats for Africa, and non-permanent seats for the African continent at the Security Council. I mean, we think our government see those appointments for Saloni image internationally.
Well, 2025 now be, as I say, an epic year for we in terms of international relations, and we stature now the world.
Except for the visa ban.
we take some big steps forward as a country. We assume seats at the Security Council. We become president of the Security Council. We preside over some major conversations, including a historic ceasefire deal for the Gaza conflict, which has gone for many years. Leone being get the privilege for preside over that particular resolution with the Security Council do. You don't mention C10. We bring in the idea of equity in terms of Africa, we rightful place. We bring that conversation in at the Security Council for the first time. We also achieve, as you mentioned, the chairperson of the Authority of Heads of States within the continent. So I think we get a president that is seen globally as a global statesman, respected, looked up to for, for play a leadership role within the subcontinent, as you can see. And he invites him all the time. When there's an issue here, they look up to him because he gets the experience. He gets a unique experience. Obviously, not be a military leader back then, a democracy leader. He don't show the kind of commitments or reforms. And you don't see the stability of the country. Sir Leone, despite everything anybody would tell you, sir, I make us start with peace and security. We have maintained a stable country. We come just 2 years ago, we get a skirmish, November 26. Since then, we don't put in place the mechanisms for make sure see the people of this country, they go about their business in peace. So globally, we status as a country don't increase, we stature don't increase, and now they embodied by President Bio a leadership role the way they continue for play for advance the global discourse.
Tunis, what did the opposition think about President Bio in appointment them internationally this year?
Well, first of all, I mean, when you're doing governance, you get for first of all understand how then things they are work. So there are certain things we will need for set straight. Most of them positions they are so, and most of them accolades and we would get, these are rotational positions. The chairmanship of ECOWAS, for example, they rotate among countries. The C10 committee of 10 for the review of the UN for this now position with Salon don't hold for a very long time. When President Chernor was president, he was chair of the same committee, that C10. So this now position for which Salon don't hold. It don't start with President Bio. It starts, I think, from way back President Kaba in time, came to President Chernor, and now President Bio. But the reason, the sideway it been significant for Salon this time. Now the fact say at the time where President Bio they as president and chair of the C10, that same 10 they reached the 10 for let Salon go na the Security Council. Not only go na the Security Council, we also assume the presidency. So it gave us more presence as a country because, of course, being at the Security Council and you being the president, now you they preside over meetings. And these were times where they began very serious issues around the world within the discourse. We heard about, you just mentioned the Ukraine issue, the Gaza issue. So being there, chairing those meetings, Salon being at the spotlight internationally.
But when I'm impressed about President Bio in leadership, now these international organizations, them, when I'm impressed about in performance, them, with regards to delivering for Salon.
Of course, I mean, when you get, that level there, the president, they preside over their meetings and the manner in which he handle them, you get for be, whether you're in opposition or you're in governance, you get for, once you elect this country, you get for, give them accolade, you get for be happy as a nation because, it gives you opportunities, but how we leverage on the opportunities, then they remains to be seen. But the only side where some of we be disappointed a little bit now the way how the government play. We overplay too much. We waste resources. I'm not gonna lie. Taking people to UN for go dance, go sing, all that thing, and they will not feel say be necessary. Really, whereas we be get priority areas also for spending money then they we not be really feel say it be necessary, because these are rotational things. Yes, we be need that presence there at that time, especially considering also we don't come out as a country for many years within a war. We don't come with a part of them reforms then they. By the way, now we also the chair the peace and security, committee in the AU. So all around these are very important areas considering we don't come out as a country. So for us in the opposition, we feel say government for don't focus more on the substance, on the delivery, than the political posture we then try for make and give, our Yeri people they say for the first time in the history, and that is not true. Not to the first time that they salon down there at the Security Council. It happened in the days of Shaka Stevens.
Yeah, but the first time salon for the Security Council, chair ECOWAS, Dana Sitten.
Not to the first time salon down chair ECOWAS.
No, at the same time. At the same time. All of this at the same time.
Oh, well, I mean, like I say, these are rotational things. How the chairmanship of ECOWAS happened, we're all happy. But like I said, these are rotational things. And we really, waiting we want for focus on, we really want for see how President Bill will use that chairmanship now ECOWAS for ensure, say, one, we strengthen peace across the sub-region, we strengthen democracy. And chairmanship don't face with a lot of challenge now the ECOWAS sub-region, by the way. We don't see plenty coup d'etats they happen across ECOWAS. So how he used that chairmanship day for show leadership, for ensure say democracy is strengthened now the sub-region, now that one day we interested in, because this Ayanda leadership get for sure. So far, the steps then we don't take, especially addressing then coup then we don't happen, maybe in Guinea-Bissau particularly, because now the term down the way in a chair we don't they happen. You go say encouraging, it's satisfactory.
And we go celebrate President Bio.
And Benin, it's satisfactory.
We make go celebrate President Bio as opposition.
Huh?
We go celebrate President Bio as opposition, given what he do.
It is not a matter of celebrating President Bio. You see, I mean, it's a matter of celebrating Sierra Leone as a country. I think this is where, we need for the distinguished things. We can tend for focus on individuals. I can be president tomorrow, Siba can be president tomorrow. Their opportunities then they go arise. How we handle them for leverage, for benefit this country, now that will be with focus. Whatever President Bio is doing as president, he's president. He's bound to do those things. And that opportunity they don't come in a way, so as a country we sit back. Wusai is succeed, we all happy. Wusai challenges, then we point out those challenges and we address those challenges. Now that will carry this country go before.
But quickly,
and that is exactly
Tunis, quickly. Una concerned about President Bio not advocating for the Yenga border issue and the Security Council. I mean, today on the last day, we Salon will be member as a non-permanent member of the Security Council. For over 2 years, President Bio advocating for Gaza, advocating for Sudan, advocating for Ukraine, advocating for the Democratic Republic of Congo. All of these countries will get wars and conflict them. While Salon, the issue of Yenga, still Security Council not able to meet.
Well, I mean, I don't know how the Yenga issue don't go, but of course, these are issue we don't take, they don't prolong. When we begin our governance, that issue they been there, but of course, with the kind relationship we've been there between President Nkrumah and President Alpha Condé, and be able to resolve that issue there. Salon be don't get Yenga back. I go tell you that they for free. We don't get Yenga back. The Guinean troops then we don't pull out of Yenga during we time. Whatever the situation is now, I don't feel say ego. I don't know waiting at the discussions, but I don't feel say, ego don't escalate to that level where they ask whether they don't discuss on at the Security Council or this. I'm not aware of that day. I know they in governance. But of course, for protect the territorial integrity of this country and the responsibility of the government. Every part of Salone for belong to Salone.
All right.
And if we see, foreign country, one come into we country for take any part of her, if it be a concern and if it be something we government for take seriously. It's surprising to we that this younger issue don't take so long. But this come back to what they talk earlier. When we face ourselves with what we face ourselves where every 2-3 days somebody has to be arrested with something we not allowed in other person in country. Then tensions here they start. And when then tensions here they start, instability go occur. And that is why for us,
Tunis, before we move ahead to another issue,
talk against them things they also for ensure say, whatever it is that is threatened with peace and quietness alone, we kick them out. Government, we feel safe for take the younger issue seriously.
And right now, according to you, government is not taking the younger issue seriously.
Well, I not say so directly. For the fact,
well, if you say they need to take them seriously,
for the fact say the Guineans them, according to waiting with the area, that they don't camp till, they don't cross over, they don't even erect structures then. Now the Sierra Leonean part, it tells you that we don't allow them too much. And I feel say we need for do more for ensure say they stay out of that area in our country.
Okay, so instead of asking you if you're concerning, I go ask you, Chernor, why President Bio as chairman of ECOWAS? I know the matter in the ECOWAS the table, but why we not take him to Security Council? I mean, this now be final day till the 31st of December. Final day at the Security Council. Not once has Dr. Imran Kanu, permanent representative in the UN Security Council, the United Nations, talking about this. We don't chair, we don't be president of the Security Council for 2 months during the term we don't serve the. Why government not take come to the Security Council?
So I think it's important for the family to understand how the UN system they work. They just take a matter to the Security Council. There's a process. And the Security Council not to cipher you go to the Security Council not to cipher you go lay personal complaint. Use your platform for say, now they can't talk about myself no more. You go there for address issues, and there's a way within they determine the debates and the issues and you propose an issue. We connect to other people them, not to just you. And that will constitute an abuse. Say, we're doing the Security Council now, so they can't talk about Bond Island. This is the Security Council. So just to be clear, the government of Salone don't raise the issue of Yenga.
Security Council.
Again, the government of the security again.
Not only ECOWAS, Security Council, the Africa Union, and other international organizations. Then,
if you allow me,
yes, Mr.
Please,
Minister.
I beg you today na New Year's Eve day. There, the government of Salone make a formal report to ECOWAS through the permanent representative na African Union. We also lodge a formal complaint to the African Union through Dr. Imran Kanu. We also write to the Secretary General, write to the General Assembly, and lodge that information there as well to the Security Council as a matter of concern.
What has been done since then?
So again, I make a say, not to the Security Council, not to like with personal club, where you go say matters are rising, you put your hand up, not to show the work, sir. So the way the reports are like say, we get the opportunity for put up your hand and say, Yenga will not do them. No, sir. You raise issue. This is an issue when a complex territorial issue. Conversation wouldn't go on for a long time. Claims and counterclaims. There are institutions within the UN when are the appropriate bodies for deal with that. It like go ala na the Security Council. The Security Council not going for make a resolution for grants Yenga to Salone. There are bodies were responsible for adjudicate that matter. For example, the International Criminal Courts. The court way, for example, if Salone will take that matter, they will be try forget
to the ICJ.
Even
because International Criminal Court is for individuals. I mean, ICJ is for
International
countries.
Court of Justice. But again, not to, the grab no more say goody. There are steps you have to follow. If you don't exhaust certain provisions. Like I say, we don't already take the initial steps. And Salone government don't make one thing very clear. We're not interested in acrimony with Guinea. You know, they help we. Guinea is a sister country. We get so many ties with Guinea. We get so many opportunities for build trade relations, security relations, intelligence relations. We know the gap no more who get small, who gets an issue, important as it is, for say, oh, let's go all out. The president say, in first option for exhaust diplomacy. We don't do that. When Guinea increase their level of aggression, the government of Salone increase, we push to the border. Then we take the measures here. We saw ECOWAS. If you go Security Council for the tell you say, go exhaust and force na ECOWAS. ECOWAS sent a whole delegation here, not so long ago. Then go and say, you know, the way the world works, there are steps and processes. So before they get to, even now for lodging, remember, so we've been recently get a candidate for going to the International Court of Justice, the excellent Charles Jallo. We've not been succeed. But part of Salone's strategy is a longer game.
All right, Mr.
Not a
Minister.
problem will solve overnight.
So with regards to energy, I mean, a big challenge for government this year. I mean, early this year, we see Kappa ship be hot light Pamphlitonians them. We will plunge the city into darkness. That's, of course, they say because of areas then we government gets for pay, millions of dollars then we government gets for pay. I mean, your government on the report say they don't pay Kappa ship over $300 million since 2018. By the way, Kappa ship, we know say now emergency power introduced by the former government, the APC-led government, and that has been continued for over 7 years now. When our government not continue for the use emergency power, very, very expensive. I mean, many citizens they don't call on our government say, instead of investing in that, we invest in we own them. I mean, hydroelectric and more.
We don't have your own government.
I mean, we all government.
Where you own government?
I mean, we government of Sierra Leone. Mr. Minister. So, what do you make of the biggest, arguably one of the biggest challenge apart from drugs, the rising amount of power cuts then we see in a free tongue since the year started?
It's factually not to say we get rising amount of power cuts. It's factually incorrect. The baseline not
so
factually
more than 50% of Sierra Leoneans can get access to electricity.
No, sir. I not talk so. But there's no rising amount of power cuts. In fact, it's the opposite.
It is declining.
On power, it don't head in the opposite direction. When President Buchanan in 2018, the energy access in terms of connection to the grid been there about 15-16%. Today, it is about 34-35% in terms of access across the country. Even at the city, there was a time, yes, we've been getting a brief period, and even that, Kappa not been shut down completely. The entire city not be going to darkness. There was a time we've been get a lot of load shedding. We've been get a challenge with the payment of Kappa. We swiftly we handle them. And there was a time where there was all many comments all on social media about power. Then to the case again, because we get relative stable and predictable supply of electricity in the country. We get challenges. For example, on Christmas Day, as you say, there were challenges. There are technical issues. The Minister of Energy don't make the rounds. The new minister. Before that, KKY don't talk plenty times. Say, look, we build electricity grid system in this country for a very specific size of the city in terms of household numbers, in terms of numbers of people. Right now, if we turn on this entire system all at once, it catch fire. You don't get the capacity. That's the reality.
Then it also means, I mean, if the population increase, means more taxes. More people they pay taxes. So is that an excuse from government because of the population we're not able to give everybody lights?
Excuse, I explain to you the reality. I'm not giving you an excuse because we're solving the problem. And there's an infrastructure problem. Elect more people and pay tax. If this line will get to now one mic, you will add the now one mic for now until you go back and build a new system, a new cable, a new system for add to the second mic, for buy the second mic and buy the third one and buy the fourth one, right? We'll get a problem. We're in a long-standing problem we're not able to solve overnight. But in terms of generation, in terms of capacity, we don't increase them significantly. And then we don't sign the agreements them, and we're in the process for significantly revolutionized power. You are aware of one of the big headlines of this year, now MCC. where Salone government gets one of the largest single resource infusion into any area of the economy in the history of the country. About $500 million that come into the energy. No, you want to talk about energy? You want to talk about solving the problem long term, but you don't want to allow me for that land on MCC.
Because it's almost time for before people call us them for coming. Make I bring in Tunis in this.
Tunis callers are not landed on. Tunis, you ask about energy. People need to know two things about energy.
Mr. Minister.
MCC and the Mission 300 Compact. Two major areas them. And then the additional steps that we government don't take, not just for let we provide people the way they off the grid, for let them join the grid, but also the investments in renewable energy, in solar, for bringing people across the country, and for stabilize and refresh the infrastructure what they talk about. Now, anybody they pay attention knows say this government, the president himself become Minister of Energy for over a 14-month period. We take control of the reins, we see a stabilization of the power control of the country, and then, as I say, if it land the MCC deal, we don't sign, we, despite all the challenges with the US government, including cutting other people off, then make a commitment, say, yes, Sierra Leone, they get MCC, and the process ongoing. You see, right now, MCC, they hire. I've been kind of the last time somebody they argue with me, say, oh, no, they get MCC. They are hiring. The process they on for the preliminary. That's good news for people of Salone. Now, that make us say 2025. Now, be when you look at them, the way we close the year, an epic way we close the year. We've had challenges, but this has been a good year for Salone.
Briefly, make I bring you Tunis. Within the opposition make of the power cuts them we don't see and government efforts, as the minister say, for stabilize energy distribution of the country?
I think the one area where we very much disappointed, and not the area of energy. And I will say this because, before handing over to President Bill in 2018, when I all go recall, say, in terms of electricity supply, and as my Freetown particularly, and some parts of the country, be unstable, to a point that if light go in any area, the Minister of Energy then, late Henry Macaulay, go inform the public right away, say, light don't go so area, or light they go so area for so reason, but within this time frame, it go come on back. We don't get used to that, and this is why we been a series of plants stations across this city, from King Tom, machines to Jaika, uphill station to Agreco na the eastern part, to the mini dam Gloucester or Batos then side and day, where be the supply energy, and then of course you get Bumbuna, where the phase 2 be don't kick off. We been bringing energy. Car power coming. Car power will only be use 5 megawatts, by the way, during we time, because it coming at a time where we not be done complete the station for the eastern flank, that Blackwell Road area. So we bring in car power for help for the supply until we fix that part there. And we also be done introduce the rural electrification program, where have been solar energy for the 149 chiefdoms. We be don't connect up to 50 chiefdoms them by then. But of course, waiting happen. When this government come, we already the Minister of Energy then, in pronouncement. So car power became the major source. And by the way, let also tell you, see, on the southern flank, we also be done complete the CLSG program. The CLSG in a line we run from Cote d'Ivoire through Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea. So now, what we face with, we be the pay whatever negotiation happen with car power, not good for this country. Because we be the pay car power too much money, to a tune of about $7 million a month. With an interest of about 28% interest. $7 million with an interest of about 28%. Where economy not able to support that one day.
I mean, this government go argue, say, They don't reduce that interest they will capacity.
It don't matter.
They
But the
get.
fact of the matter is, the way how they signed that deal, they been bad. Because here is the reason why. We ask for 64 megawatts deal from Car Power. Will not be the use that one day. Will not be the use even half of that. Because will not be getting capacity for user. Right? But even where will not be the use all of that, and the deal still be required we for pay for all. So we were basically paying for something we will not use. So that in itself was a bad
in a nutshell, so the government failed in energy, you say?
Well, the fact say we not get light.
You know they get light?
Regular, of course, I get blackout regularly.
So
And
we
they spend a
left
lot
your
of
house this
money on
morning,
fuel.
lights not be in the house. This
Waiting?
morning. This morning we left, lights not be in the house.
On and off. On and off. You know, so the fact say we still the face standing, it means we not get them right. And all of them things they are, the area about MCC, these are good news. We look forward for them. It's a positive news for the country. But the fact of the matter is the wastages in energy is too much. Quite recently, the newly appointed energy minister, the amount of money we owe to different suppliers of energy, not only Car Power, we even owe Guinean government money, according to him, for electricity, according to him. You know, so you begin to ask yourself, all of them money I will owe, and the energy will not get, waiting on the problem.
Okay.
Which side the energy to go? So for us, we really need for zeroing. Yes, we don't see efforts. MCC they far away. Then they go address the energy in the future, and that self we need for get them right.
All right.
You know, the mission 300 as it's still inside a far away, because this not to just Salone. You get multiple countries where apply for something. You know, we don't know how you get for end. But what we need for focus on, waiting we're able to do now for ensure say we curtail all of them wastages here what they see in the energy sector, wait till we not exist before. And also there has been a lot of investment in Bumbuna. Waiting not happen to that one day. What side we did with the Bumbuna project?
Right.
Have we abandoned that as a nation? We beget a hydro Napoloko, the Bankasoka Dam. Waiting not happen with that one day. We don't ignore that day or what? We start a hydro project at Moyamba. Waiting don't happen with that one day.
So I think the
Government
minister has to
abandon
answer that question
So
there.
these are all
Mr.
questions
Minister,
we
what did not
need
happen
for
to those
ask yourself.
projects today?
Where
I mean,
the
governments will
areas
abandon
that
them or
and
still
how
they
far
operational.
also government don't go with the 149 project chiefdom electrification projects, where have been solar project for all the 149
Right.
chiefdoms, then where we initiate.
Mr. Minister,
Where, you know, so
governments don't abandon those projects or still the operational.
Absolutely not abandoned. The man knows say with the opening, the government they open most of these projects. You see what's happened recently, Cambia, Moyamba. One of the things where the government very proud of now the electrification, for example, of health centers across the country. Another thing we'll not talk about it. Now the progress we'll make this year in the area of health, in energy. Nobody know they take a look at the data and suggest say we'll go beyond. It's not true. I just give you the data in terms of energy access in the country. So yes, it's easy for talk say, oh, Freetown being a light aspect of Freetown, but Boku neighborhoods and Freetown not be even get light. In and around this city, not being a light we present Biocam. In don't make energy independence as one of in top priority. Now that make we get a compelling MCC program. Now that make we don't see investments, we don't see investments in new grids, we don't open new facilities across the country. And as I say, in terms of energy access, connection to the grid, significant. We don't double the impact in the country. That is just the facts, yeah? We get challenges, yes, but we get process. Now, before you talk, but you say it's long term, it's true. But first, for let's solve a problem, you can forget the vision, you can forget a plan, and then you mobilize the resources. The government don't tick all them boxes. Now, not just a question of the implementation. We don't know what they do.
Mr. Minister,
I will
so
let for
far
talk about
at this current moment, how many % of Sierra Leoneans get access to light?
I just don't tell you just
How many percent?
I say over 30, at least 33 to 34% of the country.
I must not be
And
midterm.
in fact,
I must not be midterm.
about 15 or say percent, 15 to 18%.
So waiting another can get right where APC be the failing.
I just tell you, say you can forget a plan, you can forget a vision, you can forget a commitment to implementing that plan, and that's what President Bio has done. The President Bio at some point decide for take the bull by the horn. Insese become the Minister of Energy, and he deliver big when he become Minister of Energy.
So we know say there's a partial, as of now, partial visa ban within place from U.S. President Donald Trump who make this proclamation early this year. I mean, that's largely to affect many Sierra Leoneans when they travel go America, whether it's for tourism, whether it's for business, whether it's for studying in America. But, you know, it didn't really affect government officials with diplomatic passports. So make we see that huge delegation, the term for UN General Assembly. But however now though, after President Trump put this partial visa ban on Salone, we see government say the foreign diplomats them they in constant contact with America. They negotiate with their counterparts in Washington D.C. for reverse this ban. But now we see President Trump in government don't say they don't move on from partial visa ban to a full visa restriction on Sierra Leone. I mean, throughout the many months since the partial visa ban, what the government be to do, and why should I say government failed in reversing the partial visa ban?
The U.S. government get their own approach, and what they do, which we're very proud of, is that we get a relationship with the U.S. government as a country. Recently, then just don't select only 4 countries, for example, for the health compacts in Africa. Sierra Leone, they are among them. We know they interfere with the U.S. their own foreign policy, especially visa na a privilege. Now the country they decide whether they want to come. There are legal processes within the U.S. on that. People then they would challenge them ban here. They in the court system. We get different conversation. Within we power as a country, we don't do. Within we power for do. For example, MCC require you for meet so many boxes on governance, on economy, and all. We meet them, then cut over half of MCC recipients, then give it. Then get the reasons that we make within the list for the ban. Obviously, we do everything we can for get off the list, but most people would say not to always.
So talking about the reasons, them American the White House say because of visa overstays. I mean,
exactly. So if you say government fail because of visa overstays,
no, waiting me they tell you.
Framing.
Mr. Minister, waiting how they say now with regards to government actually reversing it throughout this month we be say America
government not get that power day for reverse. Now the US government
not gets the power for negotiate with America for reverse the ban. You say
we negotiate, but the power for reverse is not on us. We can do everything they ask for. For example, so one of the things that we've been doing at the original issue was acceptance of deportees. We are one of the most cooperative countries. We accept with deportees. You just get for establishing as Sierra Leoneans, which will not radiate for accept now for let them bring Bolivian warlords can salon for Candinaya. We somebody go just be somebody else is say one camper can salon.
We say accept. You therefore talk say President Trump in government don't propose for say them go send other deportees them can salon.
I did tell you say waiting we don't engage the US on. It's simple.
Right. Mr. Minister, you go want to make people know with regards to since we're in negotiations.
Do all the talking.
Mr. Minister, I mean a conversation with the guests.
No, that's not a conversation.
Mr. Minister,
you don't talk past me.
Mr. Minister, you go want
like
for
this. Not even this question we start for ask. You lay a premise where I find extremely faulty.
This to make we waste a lot of time, Mr. Minister.
You come back. You interrupt while they talk. They allow me for finish one sentence.
Okay. So, Mr. Minister, within America, the U.S. government puts on the table say, Salone, we need for do this, so we go reverse the visa ban.
And I talk for the U.S. government, I talk for the government of Salone. And the government of Salone will position clear, we law abiding, we follow when we relationship with America, we respect that relationship there. The big thing that we did and we control, for example, for accept deportees for Canada country, we very clear say we are one of the most cooperative countries then. Once you establish, say that person is a citizen, we're willing for acceptance. Visa overstays. You see, so we go to town all America, we talk to citizens them and all that. But when you look at the data, we're not to the highest visa overstays. Not by absolute number, not by percentages. So we are aware of that. But we continue to talk to citizens and say, look, every step you take, the civic responsibility you get from consider you other citizens there as well. Because if you want income, you overstay, then it affects your other citizens. This is something that we'll continue for do and continue for engage on. So we as a government, the steps we can take, we'll continue to take them. And I make us say, we relationship with the US a broad. And again, just recently on health, they selected Sierra Leone among 4 countries, not the continent. So that means say at least the US considers Sierra Leone a strategic partner. We recently signed another agreement with them as well on different things. We don't mention MCC. So we continue for engage them, and we hope that the US government could see all the steps that we don't take, or Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the government of Salon don't take, for reconsider we positioning na them ban. But visa, acceptance of whether they can the country or not,
privilege.
The prerogative of that country.
Okay, Tunis, as opposition, APC, how UNA's opposition see the visa ban on Salon? I mean, is it concerning for UNA?
It is concerning, of course, but we're not surprised at all because, you know, you get, for anything with it for happen, you get the enablers where they make that thing that they happen. And this show plenty things them. Earlier on, I tell you about the fact that same country they don't list Salon as the transshipment hub for drugs and money laundering. That is alone concerning.
I just want for I hate for interrupt you, but I just want to say that the designation of Salon as a transshipment hub, it don't start since mid 2020s. Like from towards the end of 2010, and then begin for lists alone the narcotic agents in the US. So I just want to make clear to Famble and say that's not new. And then that's something a long-standing challenge within they describe Sierra Leone as one of the country, both because of geography and activity. I just want to say, let Famble not think say this happened yesterday.
No, of course, but of course, waiting only emanate from that also. The fact is, it only from 2020. And then the activities still they continue to a point.
The end of 2010, the 2010s. So not 2020. I mean, like
I mean, the pronouncement not happened around then 10 in the
Mr.
Minister.
I actually check as you
talk. No, it happened quite recently.
No, sir.
I mean, the pronouncement happened quite recently. That we are the transshipment hub for drugs and money laundering.
The transshipment hub. We are one of the transshipment hub there with the US.
Also, it don't get to that point. Osai now, quite recently, also in Dubai, they arrested 2 international drug lords with diplomatic passport. When you put all of that together, it becomes concerning for countries like United States. Of course, they overstay. Not to today, Salon don't be overstay. That country. But then that also they tell you say. That also they tell you say.
I just want to make that clear.
CDA, just for be clear on this. Now, you they say as opposition spokesperson that the U.S. visa ban on Salon now because of the rise in the drug trafficking in the country. You say.
So many issues them
also because of
contribute to that. It cannot be just overstay. I mean, we all know when you're in governance, the diplomacy aspect of an day, but the warnings always they come. Governments always get away with it, they warn. They bring the issues, they go highlight the issues repeatedly to your government. Expect you for take action on certain issues. The US government will tell you, say, people in the Canada country, then they can't overstay, which is in itself not new, but it's a bad thing, especially when you don't get to a level where people they go for conferences, for meetings, where they go then balance, then all come back. Then they are very serious. You get also, Minister mentioned the deportation issue of people that we might not be Israelians where they want car with Naya, where of course any responsible government you get for be careful how you they handle that one day. Then they are not go fault the government because myself as citizen, no go want we government for accept any kind person because the US government said
one part of the reason we America
You know.
side, Mr. Tunis. Now, one part of the reason why America side now it's that past history of rejecting deportees, and you know the last time widely reported. America complain about now be doing the honest by Kuruma-led government.
Yeah, but then we don't get situation also that this country we don't accept deportees. We're not Israelians. We don't kind this country. You know, look, every government get responsibility for protect their own territorial integrity and their citizens there.
All right.
You want for accept deportees when are you own citizens? And people will can cause chaos in your country. America don't want people in them. Some of them people in their country because then they cause problem there. Then they kill more man in there. Then they rape more man in there. So if we are a small country, if they go bring drug lords and will not go able to handle. At the end of the day, they not go fine for our country. So we not feel say we go fault government for let them scrutinize whichever deportees then go on for accept. We just cannot accept anybody that side and not go fault government at all.
All right.
You know, because really now their responsibility for ensure say if we get for accept deportees at the end of the day, it has to be people we not go can this country and also destabilize our own country as well.
Mr. Minister.
But then also these other factors we might contribute. These are the factors we may they highlight now also, and they highlight them because as a country we also get a responsibility for ensure say we treat them matter they are seriously, so we go be seen as a serious country in the international eyes.
All right, Mr. Minister. with regards to the MCC scorecard, not just specifically on an issue we get for it inflation. Statistics say Leone reporting for say inflation down as 4%, less than 4%. MCC degrade the government 28 over 100. In as much as many don't say, in as much as we see this flamboyant reports them from government with regards to inflation reducing to this unprecedented amount. Percentage 4%. The realities on the ground very different. What do you make of them?
Would I say the realities on the ground different? I didn't say back.
Well, even me say the realities on the ground very different.
Based on
given the facts for example, if inflation don't go down from nearly 60%, it come down to 40%. We express
to 4%.
To 4%. We expect the cost of commodities then for reduce very, very sharply, not even less than less than 50%.
I think this is an opportunity for civic education. With inflation. Inflation, not to the absolute price. Inflation, they refer to the rise. The word inflation means to rise. It inflates, it go up. So inflation, they measure the rate at which it rise. So if it be rise at 50%, now it rise at 4%. So it not means it go down. A basic misunderstanding this way most people and they take to this subject. And second point, not to statistics say no more the reference the in charge of the inflation data in a salon. Statistics alone they release them based on the price index, World Bank, IMF, the Bank of Salon, all the enlisted reports them recently. In fact, WFP, then third quarter report for Sierra Leone also mentioned the significant decline in the inflation rates. Again, inflation, they measure the rise of prices, the price rise, because that's not the expectation, not the rise, and then the percentage at which the price they rise. So if I let family understand that part. So the facts of the matter are that
the realities on the ground.
If you look at the WFP, for example, end of year reports, they make clear, say, Nasalo, and basic commodities, rice, price don't go down. That are the facts. That are the 100%
we commensurate to the reduction in the inflation. It commensurates to the inflation.
Again, inflation, they measure, they refer to the rise in prices. The rate at which the price they rise. Now, I don't left inflation conversation. Overall inflation as alone, the fact of the matter was in mid 50%, not to we no more talking. World Bank, IMF, WFP, Bank of Salon, Statistics Sierra Leone, all verified independent institutions we get reputation for protect. That's the fact. You cannot argue with the numbers. That's not the numbers. But I did now come to the question of price, of food prices in the market. The fact of the matter is that you be me, if you go to markets, you know, say, price of basic commodities. For example, we know they suffer again from scarcity where you camp and yabas, when I basic commodity where we cook everything at the country, we suffer from that. We don't increase production at the country. We don't increase production of rice when our basic commodity. The price of rice for the first time in a long time, in fact, not just reduce the amount where they go up, in can down. Rice as an essential commodity. The WFP end of year reports mention all of them positive indicators, and they say affordability don't increase, prices don't go down in terms of access to basic commodities, inflation don't reduce significantly, and then now you premise of your question will be MCC. Let's go back there.
All right.
MCC, the data with MCC they use for release the information, typically they come out 2 or 3 years before the report of that year they come out. So that data with MCC use, and you can go that and look at the score, because MCC actually they give them source data. Oftentimes now third-party independent institutions and data that they use for include inside their reports for doing assessment. So at the time when MCC, that data we they rely on, we give you the fail grade on inflation. We are confident that when that data is updated, and we don't make them very clear, at the end of the year, the economy, the budget where the minister presents, the Pro People's budget, was very clear that nobody know to look at the economy of Sierra Leone and say we had a bad year. We've had to close the year. Now that make international partners and IMF don't come in with $79 million. Now I make EU don't come in with additional resources. Now I make all the program that will be in World Bank. More resources to come into the economy.
It's past now. I hope you not go complain for time again, because I give you lots of time for discuss on that. But I want before we go for break, updates on the corridor holdings issue, the saga. I mean, corridor holdings be said that they levy, they sue First Lady Fatima Bio $20 million.
I don't speak for corridor. I don't speak for corridor holdings.
I mean, because they also bring government into this, saying government not protect them during the protest. We then say not be illegal protest where workers them be the conduct na the mines. I mean, it has to do with government. What's not the latest update
at
on
the
that
last
issue there?
civic festival? The Minister of Mines been there on the panel. He was asked the question directly about corridor holdings. He said a few things. One is that corridor holdings get the rights for apply for letting go into, I don't forget the technical terminology we use. We basically they hold them production, and at that stage they. In terms of now, then commitments to them, staff them, then commitments to the states and all that, and there's some other matters, and they currently they don't lodge different claims and counterclaims to the various courts, and so that matter they will not go comment on them because it did before the courts.
But which are the fates of the more than 1,000 workers them we corridor holdings sack?
I say the matter they in a court, so then they will people we get.
So as of now, governments don't fend for their job at the moment.
Not to governments in work than they for fend for people.
I mean, create the environment for me to get to that work.
I just mentioned the economy. I just mentioned the budget. I just mentioned the program they do. The environment.
How long this issue gets for the pending before we get updates as to the fate of these workers then?
It's before the court.
So opposite until the courts actually decide.
We cannot interfere with the courts, right? And then a court. So this is a matter that will be adjudicated. Within government, they continue for doing for creating enabling environment, for attract more investors. For example, in the mining sector, we get bigger players. We don't kind of the country as well. Then people then get assets, then get talents, skills. We go be some we want for move. Some they continue for fet the case and all that. That's part of what you get when you get a free economy.
Okay, make her bring Sidi on this. Sidi, comment on two things here. With regards to inflation, according to government, it got into 4%. And also on this corridor holdings saga, I mean, they bring government into this. They say they go sue government for over $100 million, saying government not protect them during this protest, illegal protest, wouldn't say.
Well, in the first place, I don't can learn new term from my brother today. Say, inflation that they rise or reduced to 4%, because all the way to be done the arena that inflation don't go up to single digit to 4%. And for us, plenty things they will drive inflation, and when you look at our economy generally, all of the drivers them, the only thing you go say, yes, the price of rice don't reduce. But all other indicators no do any different. We currency now still the lowest purchasing power na the sub-region. We citizens then purchasing power still very low. Nothing, no change. In fact, it don't reduce. And the prices of other commodities they really not reduce. Go na the market for yourself. You go find you go say what you go agree with it here they say. Even with local rice, not reduce, a far more expensive than the imported rice. So when you look at the access, also it's still very minimal in terms of people that access to their local commodities than they. So when you get that kind of situation, we all drivers then to inflation, the indicators them negative, and then you can't tell me, say, last year by this time inflation be there about 50-something% or 40-something%. Inside 1 year, with all indicators remaining the same or even worse, then inflation drop to 4%. Economics not they work so.
So we know for
economics not they work so.
So in a nutshell, you try for say we not for believe these numbers. I mean the numbers on paper, not the realities on the ground.
That is basically what we are saying. And when you read the recent World Bank report, how gloomy on Salon economy, it tells you, that whatever it is we they get from, whether not statistics alone or from, people where they put them data they are together. So
World Bank.
And the reality ain't not much. Now what would they give World Bank now they go publish?
Yeah, it's from statistics alone.
Not to them go can't do investigation around you. Now what would they give and I they publish? But it tells you that it's just not realistic, and that is what we don't they always say. Waiting will they get from the government as far as how we economy day, and waiting they really happen and not match up. Look, with revenue generation, with revenue mobilization still very poor. We're still not able for finance we own activities, and that is why we continue for go to IMF and other institutions then for loan. With domestic debt rate is still very, very high. We still in a country we get about 70% debt to GDP.
All right.
Right? Dandy, as I talk to you now, so for the entire 2025, go to all of the local councils. Not a single penny has been disbursed to any local council in this country. So it tells you that when we talk about the economy, when we talk about them figures, then they and waiting they really happen as far as the governance concern and the reality on the ground, they don't match up. Really.
All right, so you still
realistic.
You still live with the Epic Morning Show on Epic Radio 99.3 FM. Listen to we around the world on myepiconline.com, Choice FM, and Radio Garden. Short break. Then we go pick on calls them. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Name inside the call for.
This is Nalafa Amadou Kamara from Smaila Town.
All right, go ahead.
The first question I want to ask Minister of Information. First of all, I appreciate the two guests today. They are very, very mature, and they talk the kind way we be able to understand them. I want to ask Minister of Information about education. Free and quality education. The first question, why these government people, they see them speaking there? Because we say free and quality education for the government school them. We know they see none of them. If they are, let them tell me some of them. That's not number one. Number two, they talk about free education again. We see last time we teachers then go by staff for say the school subsidy. Till now, like first time, till now they no pay. What in they happen? Thank you. This is Arafa Ahmad Kamara.
All right, 079-994-993. Call inside the show today We discuss on highlights for the year 2025. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, this is the Lion.
The Lion, go ahead.
You know, Pale Allah free. They Allah give good leaders them way who can sorry for me you too. Oh wallahi bra, me the Lion. The constraint the way we see through this government. The government where they come for themselves. You know, when they talk now for themselves, they can't empower themselves, they can't enrich themselves. And like me when they talk so, these governments make the woman who be picking the all on for me and able to take care. And the past government the all. Dr. Gaima, I've been working for them. You get what you muska, we back and organize to me, Takila work, I make up for them that they teach. So let you know that I'm here. But I buy them, I build news. And let you tell I buy Mutuka them. At the time come, when the government come, I buy the Mutuka, they run them. But you can make for say, I mean, life in Mutuka, 500,000, life in insure. Then I can make 3 million something. We drive like you will need the carry. Almost you drive license. Now almost 3 million something. You go license, you go put working, you go put police. Harassment from harassment. Trouble upon trouble. It make me. If somebody may tell me, say, me will land work, I for go work under the Lebanese man. I go under Lebanese man for go work me. When I was in the cell, the kind shopper next I see how Salom man the shopper. When I look and think now, say this black army. It's not for die now, black and die. Woman will begin all. But they really suffer really, and like we people who can pull on that kind of bondage there. But they really suffer Salom people. But thank you very much.
079-994-993. Call inside the program today with a review the biggest stories for 2025. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Name and side call from.
Pamusa de.
Okay, Pamusa, go ahead.
And they asked the two guests there. And I want Launa explain Giwi Triba because now the only two parties there were we don't rule in this country are APC and SLPP. And we shall stand also today now. So for this, I want to ask you now how una want put you in this country because SLPP and APC now don't rule this country we shall do so today now una responsible. When one can use they tell you say one can power the couch water. So that we say that's not the no not do not.
Hello?
Would they think about overhead bridges? But anyone will come back, he is not 2028 election they come. Now about water, lights, roads, bridges, now they can't talk about. How una want put we in this country?
Right.
Then are they listening the minister they talk to the let's don't condone. Are they telling them now so inside in this country I read like 800,000. So inside in 700,000.
Okay, Pamusa.
If you gonna market for food 3 for 10,000, chicken leg 3 for 20,000. Go and ask, let you know how Shalonians and they suffer. It's a thing they don't condone.
Okay, Pamusa. Stephen Wolan on Facebook saying the issue of Yenga for me personally is not being taken more seriously by the government. I've said it many times in your studios as recently as last Friday. Last call 079994993. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Panalist.
Let me know where the call from.
Father Lambert. Happy New Year Advance 2026 to you, sir.
Same to you.
Yeah, but I didn't to Panalist and the brand all of this country. Look into the drugstore. But when the president declare war against schools, the brother go no more now. Many ghettos, then you see the policeman and now then the man in the mobile and the smoke this thing. My brother, they say kudos to the ops within a gaps in police station. And they say kudos to the operation driver, Mr. Amsam. But they need for do more than that gaps inside. Now they don't get the all side and get one side now they go.
Hello?
The police and how they go self and then they give the about and zeal now. When they come out different, they give the about and zeal now for sale. So how the drugs go down at this country also. And the youth their life they go astray. So please now the please so now 2026 let the youth not go there again by the system that gap. Right. Thank you very much, sir.
You know what? Let's take some few more calls. 079-994-993. Call inside the program today. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, my brother.
Let me know where you call from.
Anamta from Central.
Anamta, go ahead.
I'm vexed. Better we change the bridges. But we say last caller. So thank you very much for the two panelists. My brother, I go Pamusa talk. Them two parties, I mean, I say no play God bring for we. Party will come better. But APC SLPP, my brother, they don't move better. Because any day when they come, this is like this, this is like this, this is blame this, this is blame this. They don't move better, bro. From 1961 to now, we don't fight for light, fight for a good road, fight for water, fight for feeding. Eh, bro. So what do you want to tell you? You know, what did they and Delhi and Gala?
Okay, Alamta.
So the pay no continue for pay. You are asked now call 2026 to 2028, giving people who go savior. Thank you.
079-994-993. Call inside the program today with a review the biggest stories of 2025. Hello, good morning. Hello? All right. 079-994-993. Call inside the show today with a review the biggest stories for 2025. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I'm Tia Biggest from Leicester Road.
All right, go ahead.
What to me they say winner the woman then fear with the beg the two panelists they within and this day. They are made a sorry for this year when they come. That's all gate. I talk about yesterday. They are made a put the price on for the driver. The things that they do for who they gonna market. Last time so petrol until an upline a day they come up. We use that money for them transport so where they go take the goods they can do ya. Me na ina will because I will get the picking them, I will get owner demand and I will do also and they pull the money give we but when we reach the market are different. Do you make them sorry for it? Maybe this year where they can not select this way they don't so. Thank you.
All right. I think this raises more questions again about the realities on the ground with regards to waiting day on paper, with regards to inflation reducing to the 4% the minister say. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Epic Radio, and good morning to Una Justin.
You name inside the call from?
One thing about, I was trying to call from UK, Manchester.
Yeah, go ahead.
What I try for say here regarding the solar installations, we the minister they say they do not the primary, tertiary, and all that, but mostly the primary sector of the health. There is an area where I suspect say something not they go wrong, right? Because like an example in Chernor, they don't install the oxygen plant. Chernor Hospital, they don't install the solar panel for they go supply the hospital. Okay, other hospitals then get. But the question here is that sustainable? Because the solar power, whenever the oxygen plant want for function, then get for cut off inside the hospital. So in other words, the megawatts where they go, they sustain. But they don't go add the oxygen plant and they don't make a better plant. So in other words, whatever is within that hospital, that secondary hospital is a bit of a questionable thing. Then what thing again then they do towards the MSF them staff who they don't lay out in a Kenema hospital, who they don't close in Bombali Makeni.
Right.
But the area of sustainability is more questionable because within the equal to what it get out. There was not much better plan for plants in this megawatts. It could do for both the oxygen plant and then the hospital research. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We not get time inside the show. Make I get on to studio panelists them for respond to una concerns them. Mr. Minister, please go straight to the point and what you go want for just a question instead of responding. In fact, what you go want for see in Sierra Leone come 2026?
No. I respond. Our people then go ask all their question and then you ask me your own question. Can I have to listen to them people that they like?
The show actually they on from 7:30 to 9 a.m. We don't go till almost 9:30. So please help us. We don't get much time inside the program again.
Somebody starts with education. I want to start today. 2018 President Bill come and make free quality school education. He waive school fees, all levels. He pay for everybody for take all public exams and salon. It's free, even if you go private school. And a fact. Increase the amount what they spend on education. We are the highest spend on education per capita on the continent in terms of as a percentage of our economy and as also a percentage of our budget. We don't add over 1 million new learners into the school curriculum. Education quality in terms of, for example, MCC then reports themselves in terms of gender inclusion and education. For example, we don't achieve gender parity at the primary level. We don't increase teachers. That we get a school feeding program. By any and all measure, free quality school education at Salone continue to be a success. And yes, it gets significant challenges we will continue to address. The person say, why we send we don't pick and go to school? Because again, the point of this, and I can talk, say for example, I just mentioned say me picking go to school. So plenty of people in the way them picking and this, so that information is not correct. But the point of this not to about for can talk about me own picking or individual picking, for create an enabling environment for like all picking a salon, irrespective of who say you day, who say you born, for like get access to good quality education and may get good outcome in life. And then I person build on they do, and then I commitment we continue for do. So to the other sentiment they wouldn't talk about the party, the this. One thing I go ever tell them that we too glad for now this country that we continue for push with democracy go before we get a society where a minister they can area sit down next to a position leader and get a civil conversation. And they no more progress. And even then comments and when they then send through so that they talk about in your opinion here and things like that. But putting in the way I would say some non factual, some factual, some then a question of opinion. But I want for really for the sake of the people of this country. Not to minister they say inflation. The same time where you been the quotes the inflation figure when I've been 50-something%. Now you say been the quote now you say been the quote now the same source that inflation figure they be the come out. You know the quotes the number ways please you. Then with the same independent, objective scientific institution and say the number don't go down, you say, oh, you know match the reality on the ground. You either for like get intellectual consistency and dare I say intellectual honesty. You need for say, hey, I agree with this index or I don't. And the fact of the matter is that inflation, I just pull out for the reports from me, but I just not from WFP. We make reference to say inflation gets significant decline in Salone. Food prices go down. These are all objective facts, not to minister say. And I think you do a disservice to your listeners where you take
Mr. Minister, you get 1 minute. You get 1 minute.
Now I make at the land. You do a disservice to the people of this country. If I get a debate based on the facts, you can now talk about how that inflation they don't translate to people in life, affordability, but you do a disservice.
That's not the question we ask. I say with regards to the realities on the ground.
You do a disservice where you the question basic scientific fact because no one for living in a society.
So with the question, the numbers them, given the realities on the ground, nothing for be commensurate.
You cannot question the number.
All right. Okay. So make a come to Sidi Tunis.
The number is the number.
Sidi, respond to the callers them.
Well, I mean, a lot of people then raise concern. People then talk about different things. You know, the challenges we will still continue to face. One thing I go say, this country, yes, we face challenges, but we also don't see a lot of improvement in governance over the years. Today, unlike many years ago, you travel any part in this country, you able go to any major district, you return the same day because we get good roads where they lead to the district and we don't try enough, you know, I mean, for take water to communities. You know, I remember when we did our governance, we try for take water to Bo, water go to Pujon, to Kenema and other places where water not been there before. We come into governance at a time where electricity supply now be 5%. We improve on that day, not only in Freetown, but we make other district headquarter towns that begin get light. Side and like Chernor, Lunge, Poloko, we not see light. Many years then begin for see light, and other communities, Shegbema and other places gonna credit and see light. Will not ever happen before. So many things happen. We're good. We introduce free healthcare initiative. We increase access to health. Today will be the talk about 2025 specifically, and we highlight the challenges we would on the face as a country, but also areas that we don't see improvement. Me our opposition, but of course I able for tell you say this country XYZ side we don't they do well, but we get challenges because now with responsibility that one day as opposition, as citizens, for highlight how we make gains, and for also able for say openly also with they face challenges what we need for improve, and that we go continue for do constructive engagement with government, constructive engagement with the citizens, so that we go transform this country. 2026, I wish we all happy new year. I wish the people of this country happy new year, and we hope say we all go continue for work together for see a better Salone. Now one country we get Now ban people and they ban we so for going at their own country.
Okay.
So we have a responsibility as citizens of this country, government, opposition. We self when our citizens there. We are active in politics, we are not active in politics. We all get we role. If, for example,
Mr. Tunis, we don't get time again for discuss other things.
Sometimes when we get an opportunity, I finally show. If, for example, within a community, we don't do community pump, then we don't draw pipe, take can of use, somebody go cut that pipe there, they deprive so many people not forget water. But at the end of the day, na government you go blame, na politician you go blame. So we self therefore begin for know how we they act, so that we all go improve the lives of we self now in communities. I'm glad is somebody to talk
thank you so much, Mr. Tunis.
Drugs. Now your responsibility, if you feel say policeman they sell drugs to your community, go with the evidence and point out that policeman there. So you self don't contribute, you don't help for stop that drug trade there now your community. I go let that person they do that if you really show off with it they do.
All right. Thank you so much, Sidi Tunis, Publicity Secretary for APC, and Chernor, Minister for Information and Civic Education for the government of Salone.